Why you moving back to Jamaica, not there Jamaica? Please stop it. When you see people decide that they want to return home, you don't know what their life was like when they decided to move to big foreign. Some of them realize that they were sold a dream and this is not the right path for them. Realizing that something doesn't work for you and taking action and making a real decision to dial back and then do what I need to do to make my life work for me. That is big, that is bold. We need to applaud people when they realize and find out that something doesn't work for them and they're going to make a change, rather than sit there in silence and because of what people are going to say, they decide not to live their lives the best way that they see fit. If you decide to go back home, I cannot see what is wrong with that. That is your home. Where should you go? When you move to these countries, they make it very clear that this is not your home. So there's no point in time, no matter how you feel comfortable, that you will ever truly feel like this is your home. I just don't get it. It really annoys me. I just saw a video like that and you people need to stop it. Applaud people, cheer people on when they decide to do things that is best for their lives, or just shut up.
Everyone and welcome back. I hope you are all doing well today. Oh wow, what a fantastic day. You know, there are moments when you watch something and you just sit back and say, did that really happen? I have to admit, I would have loved to be there in person to witness it with my own eyes. Let me ask you something. What makes people live some of the richest countries in the world and choose to settle in a small Caribbean island? Is it money? Is it sunshine, or is there something much bigger that many people have been missing for years? Stay with me because this today discussion might completely change the way you think about success. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. And full credit goes to the original creators of this video. Thank you.
After living in Kuwait for 6 years and moving back to Jamaica, there were a few things that actually shocked me. First of all, the noise. Jamaica loud, bad. You have about 20 yang a pass, and then you have about 15 bar, and all of them are play 15 different music. Second thing, the pace. Kuwait was very structured and predictable. In Jamaica, you have to learn patience real quick. Thirdly, customer service. Oh my God. I won't even go there. All I can do is hope and pray that one day customer service in Jamaica will improve. Fourth thing, banking service is so slow. I mean, I love the great improvements with the ABMs, but trust me, if you're going to the bank to do business, best believe it's a whole day thing. But one thing I appreciated coming back home was the warmth. People have manners. We still have manners. This was not the case in Kuwait. My Jamaican people are more welcoming, more expressive, and more connected to community. Jamaica's stressful sometimes, but it also feels like home in a way you can never explain.
You see, when you live a foreign, your time does not belong to you. I just come outside and by the time I sit down and I eat my fruits, my 15-minute alarm go off and it's time to go back at the people them work. Then you realize you're not having a choice because everything I find so inexpensive. Work bills, rent, mortgage, work bills, rent, mortgage. You go one time for the week, spend money off your wonder, Jesus Christ, didn't depend on the rent money. You wake up some bad 5 o'clock, you now reach home till 7 o'clock. By the time you reach home 7 o'clock for bed and eat a dinner, you look on the clock at 10 o'clock. Then you have to get enough sleep so you can do it again tomorrow. I'm tired. Now like tune around 4 times last week, I look on ticket for go back on my yard. I now say Jamaicans have it easier because of course everybody have to work there too. But listen, I'm sure it don't feel like a hamster wheel like you so. At least I know if I go back home, I have a little vibes, my favorite food, some sunlight. Look how the place dull and dark. Then the work not even fun because the boss them, oh don't let me get into how the boss them treat you yourself for the little dollar hour. And by the time your weekend gone, I'm back to your 40 hours plus a week. Then I think about the time when I run enough of myself, so I can't wait to run off, I can't wait to go foreign. Because the foreign clothes and the foreign something them, they sweet me. But me nah lie, I wouldn't mind go home and get the liquor and me down close them and smart this off from me from foreign and send me a little thing. But at least then I know me want there foreign and my mental health will be intact. Because it is surely tested here. So if you pack up your something them and decide to come, just know, baby, you go work. Unless you're one of the fortunate one, them and me yet for running a smiley we're fortunate and not work yourself. And then some days you say, me I go just lazy to them, and now get up and go work. Then you see the check the next week, then you'll scratch your head. Oh my goodness, that one day when I call out to work, I so much money I miss. Me a young green boy, and me if I soak my foot in a some salt. So the point that I'm making is, it is not what they make it out to be. If nobody ever tell us everything I know yourself, they lie to you. You have to work and make it yourself. Lazy people can't live a foreign unless you go live on the government. And us Caribbean people, we're not too fortunate to get that. Alright, I'm going back at the people them work now, because the bills have to pay later.
Depending on where you work, a lot of us are also seeing that there's great opportunity in Jamaica, because in places like Canada and the US, there is a glass ceiling that looms, especially if you are a Black woman. So if a Black woman is able to bring her skill set, her resources here to Jamaica and build something for herself, there is tons of opportunity, because you're not necessarily going to be chastised based on the color of your skin, but more so on your merit. And then lastly, it's about being seen. It's about every day somebody seeing you, somebody approaching you, saying hello, good afternoon, good morning, looking you in your eyes, acknowledging your existence. I remember the years that I lived in Canada, I would not even talk to my neighbors. The people at the grocery store wouldn't even pay me no mind. There is so many instances that I can go on time and time about how my existence was completely eroded, which then ultimately impacts your self-esteem, it impacts your nervous system. And it's so refreshing to be in a country where no matter where you go, no matter who you are, there is somebody who will see you. And that right there is a huge reason why a lot of us Black women, we're coming back.
You know, it's okay if you pack up from foreign and go back to your yard. It's okay. It's okay if you've migrated and you decide that this is not working out. I am going back to Jamaica. Nothing is wrong with that. And we need to normalize people doing that instead of staying in a foreign country and suffer. It makes no sense for us to stay in a foreign country if we're not doing well. And doing well doesn't necessarily mean that you have a house, you have a car, you have a good job. Doing well also means that you're not coping mentally. You're just not happy. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who you're around. You're not happy. Now, the other day, somebody told me that, you know, somebody that we both know, that person decided to go back home. And I said, good for her. Good for her. Because if you're really not happy here, if you're not getting the kind of job that you want, you come to Canada and you just realize it doesn't matter what you try, it doesn't matter what kind of qualifications you have. You've gotten certified here in Canada, you have your qualification from back home in Jamaica. Listen, sometimes we have master's degrees and we can't get a good job over here. If you realize that you're not getting back to the status after 4 years, 5 years, the kind of lifestyle that you used to live in Jamaica, you're not able to do that in Canada or the United States, go back home. A lot of us come here and we leave house, we leave car, we left good jobs. Our kids were in private schools, the best of the best in Jamaica. And we come here and we're just not getting that standard of living. Even though you might have a job, you might, you know, be able to buy a house, but that standard of living that you had in Jamaica, that good job where that made you feel like, oh, you know, you're actually meeting your targets and meeting your goals in terms of, you know, your career. You have to start all over from scratch. And sometimes even after 4 or 5 years, you're still not there. Let's normalize saying, you know what? There's no shame in it. I'm going to pack up and I'm going to go back to my home country because this is not working out. It's okay. There's no shame in it. Pack up and just go back home. Nothing wrong with it. So pack up and come back home.
8 months ago, I quit my job, packed up my life, and left the US and moved back to Jamaica. A lot has changed, some things haven't, and I figured it was a proper time for a life update. I can't lie, the first few months in Jamaica, I was pretty excited. It felt like an extended vacation with no return flight booked. I was enjoying the freedom, the slower pace, the lack of obligations, especially not having to wake up at 6 a.m. for work. For months, I was basically living like a tourist, and I was definitely living in a bubble for a while. Eventually, that feeling wore off, and it started to feel very real. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't cry a few times. The first thing that hit me was that I didn't live alone anymore, and that's not a bad thing because I could pretty much count on breakfast, lunch, and dinner without lifting a finger. Sounds like the good life I know until I realized how much I was eating. Plus, I needed some variety. Needless to say, I had to start cooking for myself. Another adjustment was my living space. There was nothing wrong with it per se. It was just a little outdated and not quite my style. Since then, it's gotten a lot cozier, but it definitely still has a ways to go. Naturally, everyday life isn't exactly the same. Things aren't as convenient as what I was used to. I had to figure out groceries because going to 7 grocery stores every month was not going to cut it, obviously. So instead of searching far and wide for products that were always out of stock, I imported them from the source. And it's surprisingly not as expensive as you think. So now I do a combination of local and imported grocery shopping to satisfy my wants because depriving myself was never an option. Tried a bunch of new food spots and rediscovered old ones because one thing about me, I'm gonna eat. Recently, I opened my first Jamaican bank account, which was long overdue since Apple Pay isn't widely accepted here. Definitely inconvenient at times. So having Gift Me in the meantime definitely helped out. I also started creating content full time and began putting down roots here in a way that I hadn't before. Don't get me wrong, it's not always great. I've definitely had some reverse culture shock moments. Now,
Then you realize you don't have no choice because everything I find so inexpensive. Work bills, rent, mortgage, work bills, rent, mortgage. You go one time for the week, spend money off your wonder. Jesus Christ, didn't depend on the rent money.
Black women are returning to Jamaica in numbers and unapologetically so, and it is being studied. And there are many reasons to this. Let's talk health, economic, all things as to why there is such a huge return. And I am a naturalized Jamaican citizen, having been born in Canada and returned back to Jamaica. Do you know how nice it feels to work with a doctor who looks like you? Now, I'm ready for the comments in the section who are going to say, well, Janelle, the healthcare system in Jamaica is subpar, so on and so forth. And yes, there is truth to that. There is lots of room for improvement here in Jamaica. However, if this exodus of Canadian and Americans continue to come to Jamaica, do you know how that will in fact influence the healthcare system? It's going to have to. It's going to have to raise a standard of the healthcare system in Jamaica because we're going to expect a certain quality of life here. Also, the opportunity to access alternative medicines here. Whether you believe in it or not, Jamaica is huge when it comes to bush teas, when it comes to cleanses. This is something that this country holds dear, and people from around the world are seeking opportunity for them to just get rejuvenated when it comes to health and wellness.
Today somebody said to me, so are you happy to be? I said, yes. So I said, let me ask you, if I'm happy to be back in Jamaica, yes, I'm really happy. You must say that is so, I'm happy to be back. Am I as settled as I would love to be? No. But I am much more settled than if I did just come yesterday or today. I love it here. I have absolutely no regrets coming back to Jamaica. And I even said it to him, I said it when I came back, it was the right timing. Perfect timing. Yeah. Me, migrate, me leave Jamaica again, for to start over. And for set up shop, a lie you tell. Lie you tell. Alright, so me stay. Me the day which part me there, and my sister Jamaica going with things. And me not see why I'm supposed to do somewhere else and not enjoy my own country. We're not gonna do that, okay? Foreign and migration of young people. That's for young people. That are for people who never wet them foot outside of Jamaica before. But glad say that was a long time ago. Right now, jam down my thing there, right? So that's the truth.
Okay, so this video is for my Jamaican peeps, those of you who have sense, okay? Not for the ones who need to go back to Jamal. I get a lot of questions of people asking, what is it like living in Canada? Or, you know, do you think it's a good idea for us to move there? And remember, no one should tell you what to do with your own life. You will decide that. But as someone who's lived here for 37 years, the advice I have for you is this. If you are in Jamaica and you have a good job, you own your home, you know, you have a vehicle, whether you are paying for it, you know, through financing or you own it, it sounds like you have a fairly decent life, if that be the case. But I'm not going to say to anyone who, if there's an opportunity for you to elevate your life and to create, you know, wealth for generations, that you should say no. However, my advice to you is to rent out your house. Do not sell your home. Unless the home was already teetering on the brink of you losing it, do not sell your property. Okay? Real estate in Jamaica is getting higher and higher, and after a while you will not be able to afford that same house that you now own. So if you get a job overseas, rent it. And I know that can be problematic too, but you know, do your due diligence and rent it, or put it on Airbnb if you have someone you can trust to manage it while you're away. And there are always people who just manage Airbnb, and you pay them to do that. So I wouldn't suggest this, you leave it with family or friends or anything like that. Get, you know, people who are well vetted, who manages Airbnb and things like that. So do not give away shore for onshore. Don't be like the dog who stand over the water or the river or whatever, and because you see the dog has a bone in its mouth, and because he's seeing the shadow with the bone, it lets the one go. Okay, don't give up shore for onshore. All right. Now, I want to say this: big up, big up, big up to my country, Jamaica, and to all the people who over the decades have tried to convince me that Jamaica is a horrible place. Let me tell you something. You are a disgrace. Your mama that gave you her tea, anyway, you know, who fed you from that thing, still lives in Jamaica. You grew up in Jamaica and lived there until you're in your 20s and your 30s. And when look at you now, you're so full of yourself, you know, telling people that they cannot go back where they come from. Now, I know some of you are traumatized. I don't want to ignore that. And if you are, live where you are, be free. But for those of us who live in these parts and understand the truth of what it's like to live in environments where you never feel like you fit in, you never feel like you belong. I'm a Canadian citizen, and listen, in my passport it asks for where my place of birth is. So if that was not important, then I don't know what is. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much Canadian citizenship I get and how long I live here, I will always be considered as an outsider. Okay, get that. Not just be considered, but be treated as one. All right. So if you want to travel overseas, nobody's stopping you, nobody's discouraging you. I'm actually saying to you, if the opportunity comes up and you're in Jamaica and you're struggling, or you know your situation is just up and down and you feel like my life is going to be better, we have the best teachers around the world. So you have teachers and nurses leaving Jamaica to go elsewhere because the people who are in positions of power do not try to capture or hold the people who can really do great for the country. But I'm saying, when you go away and you work for 10 years and 15 years, I guarantee you, I don't care how well or how good you have life, you're going to want to go back to your home. All right. A lot of people say we don't want to go back because of, you know, violence, and if truth be told, it's everywhere. One of the set of Jamaicans who love to talk about what's going on in Jamaica live in New York City, live in Boston, well, not Boston so much, but Detroit, Chicago. Oh, don't make me laugh. Okay, so you're just full of it. Do not let them discourage you. Do not let them discourage you. Do not let family who don't care about you, because the thing is, they know when you come back to Jamaica, they can't use you as their bank machine or the ATM, so they don't want you coming back. They don't care for you. They're not worried about your safety. Listen, I want to say that people from around the world are coming and living there and having a great life. And if you feel that when you come to these parts, you know, you're going to be very happy because the money is just going to be flowing, and if it is, let's just say you're one of the lucky ones and money just come freely and easily, it's still your home. Jamaica is still your home. I'm going to attach a clip at the very front of this. I see, sir, you're looking for attention, and I'm giving it to you. You know, people should live below their means, or in their means, or don't, whatever the story you say. Like you're full of it. I'm not gonna stop pushing. I'm not going to stop raising the bar very high. I'm going to go above the glass ceiling that is there. It's a lot of people like you with that mental, that state of mind, why a lot of us don't prosper, because you feel like when we try to size up with people, because that's how you see it, people who are ambitious, they think they're sizing up. Okay, there are a lot of people who are living way beneath their means and work like, I don't know, like a donkey, and still got nothing to show for it. Okay, it's you Jamaicans that I avoid in these foreign parts. A lot of you Jamaicans that I see with this mentality, I just avoid you. But big up for my nice, good Jamaican people who know what it's like to come in here, come into spaces where they sometimes are not welcome, and just do the do. You understand? We keep pushing. We yell and we scream. Hashtag scream if we have to. But we don't give up. We get up and we keep going. And we want the good things them. And we're not going to make people who are worthless and unambitious stop us from having it, because we find out that, you know, we're stuck in some type of loop. The idea is not to quit and not to want less than, but it's to be strategic in your planning, whether you're living overseas or you have plans to go overseas. Okay, don't let anybody discourage you. Okay, that's where you grew up. Some of you grew up in some impoverished neighborhoods and you became something, and all of a sudden the place that nurtured you and the people who loved you are suddenly beneath you. Go away. Go away. When I pick up my lottery ticket, yeah, I'm coming to invest in myself, because I'm not trying to build anybody. I'm over that. I'm coming to have my cake and eat it too.
I've packed my bags, I've sold my house, and I'm on my way home to sweet, sweet Jamaica. The brain dump is over. We're bringing it all back home. There's no way we can see Melissa take such advantage of our country and don't go back and fix her up. We are never, ever going to abandon our parents. Not a country like Jamaica that gave us so much, or that gives us so much. Pride, joy, resilience, strength, happiness, best food, everything. Guess what? Yeah, man. If you can go back, go back. However you can do. Whatever help you can give. Because Jamaica instilled in us everything that everybody want. And it have a bond in you, like a true Jamaican. Yeah? So Jamaica, my sweet, sweet Jamaica, here I come. 45 years, long enough. I'm coming back home.
Guys, welcome back. I hope you have just watched that full combination of videos. Think about it for a moment. For decades, people dreamed to move into America, Canada, or the United Kingdom. Those countries were seen as places where dreams came true. But now something unexpected is happening. More and more black women are choosing Jamaica instead. Isn't that interesting? Doesn't that make you stop and ask? What does Jamaica have to keep attracting people back? Sometimes, life has a funny way of surprising us. As the saying goes, As the old saying goes, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's greener where you watered it. Many of these women say they are simply looking for peace. Now let me ask you another question. What is the price of peace? Can money buy it? Can a bigger house guarantee it? Can a higher salary replace it? Many people work hard every single day, yet they still feel exhausted, lonely, and disconnected. Some say they reached a point where they realized they were making a living but had forgotten how to enjoy life. That is a powerful thought, isn't it? Then comes something many people don't expect: community. Imagine waking up in a place where neighbors actually greet you with a smile. Imagine people asking how you are doing because they genuinely care. Sounds simple, right? But sometimes the simplest things become the biggest blessing. There is a quote that saying people may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Could that be one of Jamaica's greatest strengths? Of course. Some people aren't just looking for a better lifestyle, they are looking for opportunity. They believe they can start businesses, create jobs, and build something meaningful. Instead of waiting for someone else to give them a chance, they want to create their own chance. Isn't that what entrepreneurship is all about? Someone once said, ships are safety in the harbor, but that is not what ships were built for. Maybe these women are simply choosing to sail in a different direction. Health is another reason many people mention. Jamaica is known for its bush teas, natural remedies, and traditional that have been passed down for generations. Some people smile and say, Grandma's bush teas can solve almost anything. Whether that is completely true or not, one thing is certain: many people feel connected to those traditions. Sometimes healing isn't just about medicine, sometimes it's about a culture, a family, and feeling like you truly belong. But let's be honest for a second. Is Jamaica perfect? Absolutely not. No country is. Living somewhere is completely different from spending a week there on vacation. The beaches are beautiful, yes. The weather is warm, yes. But bills still have to be paid. Internet problems still happen. Banking can test your patience. Customers serving may leave you scratching your head. Life continues. Paradise still has responsibilities. Many people also experience reverse culture shock. Isn't that amazing? You can return to your own roots and still feel like a newcomer. The pace of life is different. The noise is different. The daily routine are different. At first, it can feel exciting. Then it can feel confusing. Finally, it starts to feel like home. Doesn't every major journey require an adjustment? One piece of advice really stood out. Don't rush to sell everything you own overseas. Keep your option open. Keep your safety net. Why? Because moving to another country isn't like changing your hairstyle, it's a life changing decision. Planning ahead isn't a sign of fear, it's a sign of wisdom. As another saying reminds us, hope for the best, but prepare for the unexpected. This conversation reminds me of something that happened during the COVID-19 pandemic. People around the world started asking, uh, they started asking themselves what really mattered. Was it just the paycheck? Was it the expensive apartment? Or was it spending time with family, having peace of mind, and living a healthier life? That period changed how millions of people looked at the world. And perhaps we are still seeing the effects today. So, here is my final question. Is success really about living in the biggest country? Or is success about waking up every morning feeling happy, self-respected, and uh, at peace? Maybe every person has a different answer. Maybe that is exactly what makes this conversation so fascinating. As the saying, as the saying, as they say, home is where the heart finds peace. Whether Jamaica becomes home for more people in the future remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. This small island continues to make a very big impact. Sometimes the biggest lesson comes from the smallest places. What do you think? Will you make such a move if you had the opportunity? Or will you stay where you are? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I do love to hear your opinions. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like the video and turn on the notification so you'll never miss the next video. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and thank you for watching. Thank you.